Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny, and it finally happened. Dr. Michael Burry talked a little bit about valuation in China. For those of you who don't know, we're big Michael Burry fans here, and we're big Alibaba shareholders. So we finally have an intersection of two things we actually care about. We're going to talk about it and see what our take is right now. It's the current point in time.
Yeah, I'm stoked. If you like this kind of entertaining stock market content where it's two super guys trying to figure everything out, give us a like and subscribe, and let's get started.
Two Super Guys Trade Stocks.
All right. So did the man himself basically say, buy China, buy Alibaba at this point in time? That's the question we're going to talk about. What do you think?
It says buy China in pink, so
Yeah.
I would say
Twitter
that's pretty official.
definitely allows color like font. No, this is the actual tweet that he put out. China's markets are having America in early 2009 moment. I mean,
Okay.
if you've been anywhere on like YouTube, you've been bombarded with China, economic issues. The whole thing's crashing in 22 days. By the way, he changed that thumbnail because he has no spine. You're talking about how just the fact that there's so many negative news headlines surrounding this that you have to be at this utter pit of despair in terms of valuation. And I'm going to show you the numbers briefly. Even when we're looking at not such a great year for Alibaba, where do they value from like a free cash flow basis? Right?
That is quite the tweet. And just to remember, everyone, ending of 2009, we were not great. We were incredibly low, and then we had a solid 2 or 3 years right after that.
I mean, 2, 3 years, decade plus. I'll show you what the graph actually looks like from that standpoint. It's in this presentation.
Oh, perfect.
So this is a screenshot
Yeah.
of Casgain's Academy. This is his videos, like Red and Burry and China, and like everything's pessimistic. Like China doesn't even exist anymore. It's just like fallen off the cliff, according to him. So this is the actual video here. 300 billion just disappeared. That's the one where he originally said like China's going to crash in 28 days. Yeah, got 3.2 million views on that video. All right, utter insanity. And then of course he never mentions where he came up with this 32 days or whatever it was in the video, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, this is why we're never going to have more than like 10,000 subs, is because we won't do this shit. This is so annoying. Yeah. I've clicked on a couple of his videos. They're crap. It's a 15-minute video where you learn one fact, and the fact is not cited. So who cares?
Yeah.
I don't like this guy.
I hear you. And if you go back far enough, he's talking about how great an investor Kathy Wood is and how Michael Burry's wrong. Just whatever the flavor of the week is. Okay.
Yeah, but, there you go. Kathy Woods, this sector is about to 50x 4 months ago. Yeah. Killed it.
This sentiment is not entirely just his, though, okay? That this is a pretty wide sentiment amongst, kind of talking heads and media entrepreneurs or whatever you want to call them these days. This is a largely overblown statement. You hear it all the time. What is this fear versus greed thing about, being greedy when others are fearful and being, fearful when others are greedy? This is exactly what that embodies to me. You make calculated decisions based upon your own risk tolerance, and you invest based upon that. You try not to have any influence from outside world. The outside world right now is super pessimistic regarding Chinese economy. So it definitely represents the fear aspect of this. The question is, how appropriate is it to be greedy right now? That's what I kind of come back to.
I think we got one more drop. One more negative news cycle of China, and before the end of the year, and then after that, I think it's gonna be awesome.
Who knows, honestly?
Yeah.
But are they truly going to go away overnight? No. This is the second largest economy in the world.
No.
And he's talking about valuations approaching 2009 America levels. This is a graph at SP 500 when you look at 2009 compared to where they are, 15 years later. Ridiculous, right? Yeah, you saw profound growth over the next several, or next decade plus, right?
Yeah.
That's what your opportunities are when you invest at the absolute nidus of depression in terms of stock prices and valuation and kind of optimism regarding these financial assets. Don't be wrong, it's nothing certain. I'm not about to go wholesale into this. I still have a little position in Alibaba, but it's not my largest holding by any means.
No, mine's not my largest holding either. It is.
Oh, it is. Oh boy. So you've had some positive kind of news stories come out a little bit, but they don't get quite the same traction, right? We're talking about the delisting risk, and now you're seeing positive development in terms of assuaging that fear, where you have the U.S. and China now cooperating on this PCAOB accounting oversight board auditing of the auditors. I know, right? Audit of the auditors, all the auditing auditors.
I
We'll
mean, you
just continue on this.
gotta have checks and balances, right?
Yeah, it's like inception of financial auditing, But that's the basic idea here: is that you actually have folks from this public accounting oversight board on the ground looking at actual auditing, kind of documents from these companies now, right? Um, Even more so, this is a story from a couple of days ago where now, you can take this one of two ways, that China was also sending some regulators to Hong Kong to assist the U.S. audit inspections. They may be assisting versus getting in the way. Who knows how the actual day-to-day is going.
Mean?
Yeah, I know, right? But the point is that you have the people in the room together that are actually trying to, make this happen and assuage the fears of delisting risk in terms of Alibaba stock and all these other Chinese equities. So that's positive news. And, I don't think that people are weighing the possibility of this actually happening. It's very much a show me attitude, which is fine. But my point is that you just can't completely ignore that when you're talking about companies with tremendous financial kind of metrics here. So this is where Baba stood as of today. We're recording this on September 24th, 2022. $210 billion market cap, $65 billion in cash and short-term investments, right? And they've had a rough year, right? The Chinese economy has had some headwinds with the zero COVID policy. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, that very much, there are real aspects of this that are negative for Alibaba. However, they still have managed $12.5 billion in trailing 12 months free cash flow, meaning that trailing 12 months, looking at an 8.6% free cash flow yield.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And
that's
their projections going forward. Exactly. And the projections going forward are better. So like this is a tremendous cash on cash return. That's why it's like I'm not worried about it. I will continue holding this, and I legitimately have a multi-year outlook on this sort of stuff because at some point that cash flow will catch up. You still have them having $15 billion in authorized share repurchase program as of now. That's a hell of a cannon they have to fire at it, particularly when the stock price is this depressed. That although I am not directly contributing more dollars to this, they are generating dollars every day, which they can use to repurchase shares. That's a tremendous kind of upward pressure over the long run on valuations. So I'm okay with waiting.
Let me ask you two questions. Is there a price where Baba hits that you would buy more? We're at 84 something.
Yeah, I think it's more about risk tolerance. Right now, I have enough Alibaba. I'm okay with it. I don't want to buy any more at this particular point in time. There are other companies from a diversification standpoint that I am actively buying. I'm buying Google and Meta right now too. Those are companies that I'm interested in diversifying my assets into. But I am happy with my position. I'm happy to hold it, and I will not. I don't think it deserves the valuation that it's currently at. Basically, is my point, and that this is truly, when you're at a depressed level in terms of news cycle fear, and these are the great buying opportunities in the long run.
So the two biggest risks of this are China company, and then everyone would bring up Diddy or the Uber, whatever it is, and it's trash, or the Luck and Coffee thing, right? Or value trap, Intel.
Yeah.
Intel's been at the same price for 1 million years. Okay?
Yeah,
that's
don't
a
get
fact.
me started on Intel.
1 million years.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. 1 million.
It's the first business of humans. Still the same price. Would you ever consider buying JD, the other rival company that's a little bit smaller, but is still tremendous financial reports?
True. Honestly, I haven't done enough due diligence on JD to give you an accurate assessment of them. From what I've been kind of through my Alibaba ownership, when I've kind of garnered about them in terms of market share kind of capture and how they're growing in terms of that, I do think there are some very positive things there. However, I still would rather own like the 300-pound gorilla in the room. To me, that's what was my standpoint on why I picked Baba in particular.
Fair. But JD has a drone airport. All right, guys. We'll stick over.
Okay. That is cool. I'll catch you in the next one.
Later, guys.